Welcome to Algorithmic Arguments. I'm your host, the Orchestrator. Tonight, we're tackling a question that gets to the heart of gaming's evolution. Is the Half-Life series still influential in modern gaming, or has it been surpassed? This iconic franchise has been a benchmark for storytelling and gameplay innovation since its inception, but with the rapid pace of technological advancements and new IPs emerging, it's time to examine its current relevance. Joining me are JakeTheGamer, Novak, who spent countless hours streaming and competing in modern games, Dr. Astrid Engstrom, whose environmental advocacy might seem worlds apart from gaming, but could offer a unique perspective on the series' themes and impact, Big Tony Russo, with his finger on the pulse of small business and community building through gaming, and Marc Okafor, who's explored existentialism and absurdity in philosophy. Over the next hour, we'll dissect the Half-Life series' influence, challenge its legacy, and explore whether it remains a touchstone for modern gamers. Let's dive in.
I'm gonna say straight up, the Half-Life series is still a major player in modern gaming. I mean, you can't deny the impact of Half-Life 2's physics engine, which basically set the standard for interactive storytelling and immersion. Games like Portal, developed by the same team, showcased innovative mechanics that many devs still draw from today's robot-faced personal computer. Even recent titles, such as Prey, 2017, and the Talos Principle 2, cite Half-Life as an influence. Its DNA is all over modern FPS games, from level design to narrative complexity books. Raygun. You can argue about surpassed or not, but its legacy remains strong in current gaming landscapes.
JakeTheGamer. Novak's assertion that the Half-Life series' influence is still widely seen might be valid, but let's not forget the economic side of things. Has the series' commercial success been matched by others?
Listen, let me tell you something about influence and commercial success. The Half-Life series was a game-changer, no question. It set the bar high for storytelling and immersive gameplay. But let's not get nostalgic here, we gotta look at the numbers and the market. Since its peak, we've seen other franchises like Call of Duty and Fortnite take the lead in terms of sales and cultural impact. The Last of Us, for example, has directly borrowed from Half-Life's narrative-driven approach, but with a more polished execution. I'm not saying Half-Life isn't still influential. It's just that others have built upon its foundation and taken it to new heights. You gotta respect the competition, kid.
Big Tony Russo's assertion that The Last of Us are directly borrowed from Half-Life might be an oversimplification. While influences are clear, the relationship is more complex.
I gotta challenge that notion that Half-Life's influence has waned. It's still a touchstone for many modern games. Take, for instance, the atmospheric tension and environmental storytelling in The Last of Us. Sure, it's clear that Naughty Dog drew inspiration from Valve's masterclass in game design. But saying one borrowed from the other oversimplifies the complex interplay of influences in gaming. Half-Life 2's innovative use of physics, for example, has had a lasting impact on first-person shooters and beyond. You can see its DNA in everything from Portal to BioShock. The series hasn't been surpassed, it's evolved, influencing new generations of developers who continue to push the boundaries of interactive storytelling and immersive gameplay. Robot-faced laptop computer video game. Thumbs up fire.
Let's keep the discussion focused on influence across various dimensions, not just commercial success or direct borrowing.
The data on gamer preferences and industry trends is very clear on this. The Half-Life series has had a lasting impact on modern gaming, but its influence has waxed and waned over time. As someone who's spent years studying patterns in complex systems, I can tell you that the 1998 release of Half-Life set a new standard for storytelling and immersive gameplay, not just for first-person shooters. The physics engine innovations alone have been cited by numerous developers as an inspiration. However, let's examine more recent data points. While titles like Portal and BioShock built upon Valve's foundations, contemporary releases such as Overwatch and Destiny show how far the genre has evolved. I'd argue Half-Life 2 still benchmarks excellence, but doesn't singularly dictate modern game design anymore. We see its DNA across many successful franchises, yet other series have innovated further in some respects like graphics or multiplayer mechanics.
The Half-Life series remains a cornerstone of modern gaming's DNA, and its influence can be seen in everything from narrative-driven games like BioShock to the immersive worlds of Horizon Zero Dawn. Dr. Engstrom argued that the series' innovative storytelling and physics-based gameplay have yet to be surpassed, and I tend to agree. However, Marc Okafor raised a compelling point about the evolution of gaming mechanics and how more recent titles have built upon Half-Life's foundations. As we move into the next round, I'm eager to see how our debaters respond to the question, can a game like Half-Life 3 or its spiritual successors revitalize the series' impact on modern gaming? If you're enjoying this debate, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss what happens next. We're just getting started.
Listen, let's cut to the chase here. Influence isn't just about being the first or setting a standard. It's also about staying relevant and pushing boundaries. I agree with Dr. Engstrom that Half-Life 2's physics engine was groundbreaking, but we gotta look at what came after. Games like Destiny and Overwatch didn't just borrow from Half-Life. They innovated further in areas like multiplayer and graphics. And let's not forget, kid, when it comes to cultural impact, Fortnite's the one dominating the conversation, not Half-Life. Now, I'm not saying it's a zero-sum game where influence directly correlates with commercial success, but you gotta acknowledge that other series have built upon Half-Life's foundations and taken it to new heights. The question is, can Half-Life reclaim its spot as a leader, or has it been surpassed?
Big Tony Russo's mention of Fortnite as a dominant cultural force, while true, slightly derails the focus on gaming influence. Let's keep the discussion centered on game development and innovation.
The crux of this debate lies not in whether other games have built upon Half-Life's innovations but in acknowledging its lasting impact on game design and cultural relevance. As an absurdist, I'd argue that the notion of influence being a zero-sum game, where one series' gain necessitates another's loss, is inherently flawed. The Last of Us, for example, didn't just borrow from Half-Life, it recontextualized those ideas in a fresh narrative. Similarly, BioShock and Portal demonstrate how Valve's pioneering work has been reinterpreted across different genres. Influence isn't solely about commercial success or fleeting trends, it's about setting the stage for meaningful innovation. In this sense, I firmly believe that Half-Life remains an influential force in modern gaming, shaping not just gameplay mechanics but also storytelling paradigms, books, video game, fire, thumbs up, laptop, computer.
As we discuss the Half-Life series' influence, remember that its impact may be seen in various aspects of modern gaming, from mechanics to storytelling.
I think it's clear that the Half-Life series has had a lasting impact on modern gaming. From my perspective, its influence can be seen in many iconic titles: Portal's portal mechanics, BioShock's atmospheric storytelling, and even The Last of Us's post-apocalyptic vibes all owe a debt to Valve's innovative work. While commercial success doesn't necessarily dictate influence, I argue that Half-Life 2's physics engine and narrative-driven gameplay set the stage for modern gaming as we know it. Don't get me wrong, other series have certainly innovated further, but you can't discount the foundational role Half-Life played in shaping game design today. It's not about being surpassed, it's about leaving a lasting legacy that continues to inspire developers. Robot face personal computer thumbs up sign.
I'd like to synthesize the key points from this discussion and make a final argument. The data on game design evolution suggests that the Half-Life series has had a lasting impact, but its influence has indeed fluctuated over time. I agree with JakeTheGamer that Half-Life 2's physics engine was groundbreaking, setting a new standard for interactive storytelling. Marc Okafor correctly pointed out that influence and commercial success aren't mutually exclusive. The Last of Us is a prime example, drawing inspiration from Valve's game design. However, Big Tony Russo raises a valid point about commercial success. The gaming landscape has shifted significantly since Half-Life 2's release. In my view, While other series have innovated further and surpassed Half-Life in commercial success, its foundational influence remains evident in many modern titles. The lineage from Half-Life to Portal, BioShock, and even The Last of Us is clear. It may not dominate today's gaming scene, but its impact endures.
Listen, let's be real here. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. While the Half-Life series was a game-changer back in the day, I think it's been eclipsed by other franchises that have pushed the boundaries of innovation further. You look at numbers, and games like Fortnite or Call of Duty are raking it in, leaving Half-Life's commercial success in the dust. And let's not forget about Portal. As great as it is, it's still built on that same foundation laid by Half-Life. Meanwhile, you've got other series like The Last of Us or BioShock that have taken those initial ideas and run with them, creating something new and groundbreaking. I'm saying the influence is still there, but it's not as dominant as it once was. That's just the way progress works.
I think it's clear that the Half-Life series has had a profound impact on modern gaming, and I'd argue it's still influential today. While commercial success isn't the sole metric for influence, we can't ignore that games like The Last of Us have drawn inspiration from Valve's innovative design. This lineage is also evident in titles like Portal and BioShock. My opponent's focus on commercial success overshadows the fact that Half-Life's DNA can be seen in many modern classics. Influence and innovation aren't zero-sum games. Just because other series have built upon Half-Life's foundations doesn't mean its impact has diminished. Instead, it speaks to the series' enduring legacy. In conclusion, I'd say Half-Life's influence remains strong, even if it's evolved over time, continuing to shape game design in meaningful ways.
As we wrap up this episode of Algorithmic Arguments, let's distill the most compelling moments from our debate. We saw JakeTheGamer, Novak, and Dr. Astrid Engstrom trade barbs over the Half-Life series' lasting impact on narrative-driven games, with Jake arguing that its influence can be seen in recent titles like BioShock and Portal. Big Tony Russo countered with the notion that more modern franchises, such as The Last of Us, have eclipsed Half-Life's innovative spirit. Marc, Okafor brought a developer's perspective, highlighting Valve's continued relevance in the gaming industry. In the end, JakeTheGamer takes the top spot with 12 points for his razor-sharp analysis and compelling examples. I'd like to thank our panelists for their thought-provoking insights. You've given our audience plenty to chew on. To all of you watching, I encourage you to share your thoughts. Do you think Half-Life remains a cornerstone of modern gaming? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Algorithmic Arguments, and hit that notification bell for more lively debates. Until next time, stay curious, keep questioning. We'll be back with another episode soon.